It's an exciting Thursday morning. We're here once again to unravel to you what is happening across Nigeria. Sometimes we go beyond Nigeria into the world to bring out news emanating just to keep you informed, educated, and of course entertained. Well, it's another edition of This Morning on ITV. I am Wilson Omasha. Yes, trickers, drizzles. Even rain this morning, so the weather is a little bit confusing. If we're not in August break or we are just mixing August break and the raining thing, I don't just get it, but all the same, if you must get up, you really have to get up to, put food on your table. With that, I say good morning, Nigeria. Anyway, I am not alone. I have my colleague, a friend, in our Lagos studio, Mercy Lina. Mercy, how are you doing this morning? How is Lagos? Did it rain out there?
Good morning, Wilson. Lagos is good. No, it didn't rain today. The weather was a bit, when I woke up, it was a bit hot, not like very hot, but I think the August, maybe we're still in August break in Lagos. I don't know. Well, Lagos is beautiful this morning. Lagos is good. How are you doing, Wilson?
Well, I'm cool, Mercy. Had a wonderful night's rest, only to be interrupted by another rain. I was like, what in the world is happening? What happened to our August break and all that? And that brings to mind the state of Federal Road. Remember that Comrade Adam Saliu Shomole, the senator representing Edo North, accused Mai of neglecting the road in the South region. And of course, a few days ago, Mai showed up to really assess the situation, and he was so surprised. The man was angry, saying concessionaires are the ones responsible for the state of that particular road. So I'm not saying that it's not only roads in the south, some other roads also, and the Federation are experiencing similar situation. You get to see cars not being able to go across the road. You get to see some cars, sinking even in the middle of the road. That was one Apollo thing for a car to sink. That means the road is truly gone. I mean, what can you make out of the state of the federal roads in this particular region? Talking about the south region as well, other parts of the country.
Okay, the fact that Dave Umahi, came to, inspect the road and all of that, I mean, that's a good one. Even though the governor of Edo State, I saw a video where he says Edo State, the people of Edo State, they're happy with the president. The video has been trending on social media, of course, TMI socials and all of that. That the people of Edo State, I don't know, Wilson said you guys in Edo State, you're happy with the president.
Mercy, don't put me on the spot this morning. Don't put me on the spot this morning. I'm not going to answer that question. Seriously, I'm not. Anyway, it all depends on the side that you belong in, the masses, political party, your position. You must pick a side. But all we want is to, bring to a stop of some persons trying to travel from point A to point B, only to spend 5 days, sometimes 3 days on our roads. That is appalling. That is appalling. Yes, it is true. The government didn't lie. That, yes, those citizens, not all of them, that they're happy with that president, that they shouldn't mind what social media is all about. But no, you should mind what social media is saying at times, because that seems to be the bulk of the voices of the people. Many people are not happy here in Edo State because of the state of the road. That doesn't mean that the governor is not doing his best. They're saying that it's due to the raining season. And the miner came and, threw more light to the students, saying that, look, it's not the governor's fault, it's not the federal government's fault, it's the concessionaires that messed up the job. And I kept on wondering, the company that did the job before it became deplorable, I mean, who is the one bringing them to book?
Wilson, the truth is, one thing is coming to inspect the road. Another thing is to, start work immediately. I would commend the, the Minister of Works for a swift intervention and coming to inspect the road. And another thing I would always say, I would not just blame either the state or the federal government. I would also blame myself and you, the citizens of Nigeria. If the government is trying their best or doing what they can to, put all this infrastructure in good shape, we as humans, we as Nigerians, we should always also do the right thing, not blocking the drainages. I keep seeing series of videos on the internet where you see somebody parked there, blocks the gutter, the drainages. Also, all those will cause, bad roads. And sometimes you see that these facilities that this government, they've done, you see some persons vandalizing them. It's heartbreaking that most times we are the cause of our problems. I'm not saying, the state of the roads, Nigerians cause that, but we are also the part of the problems. If the government should come out to do something for us, we should learn how to, protect ours. And also, I would say I appreciate the swift response of Dave Umahi. They should start work on time. I saw on the internet some persons spending 3 days, 4 days traveling. It is really sad, trust me, the state of the roads, not just in those states, Delta State, other states, even in some parts of Lagos State, they should just do the right thing.
Yeah, but the visa of Umahi exposed one thing. It's talking about the quality of jobs. You'll sort of be like, that is a federal. It has nothing to do with drainages and the rest of them. But come on, it has a lot to do with it. But come on, if you take a look at the nature of the deplorable conditions of this road, you get to realize that it goes beyond all those persons who are not the support of them blocking the drain. It's like a shoulder job, a banged up job that was done on that particular road. Just think about how can a car sink on a road that was constructed? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't at all. If you talk about the states, no, the roads in the cities, fine, state government road, a major part of it are caused by the citizens, individuals living in a particular state blocking drainage. Yes, it is true. But for a federal road, Messalina, this is a federal road. It's like the contractors given this job to do should really up their game. And on the other hand, be like, look, it is the amount of money you give to a contractor. That is what he or she is going to use to execute the project. Some are calling for probe. Because these roads have been awarded, the cost of these roads have been awarded over and over and over again, and there seems to be no result. What happened to Umahi? He said he's been using cement right now to construct road. Is that what they're going to use, or what do you recommend so that we won't fall back to the same situation, even after it being fixed? Maybe the next 5 to 10 years, what do you recommend? Is it the concrete thing, or just stick to the tar thing with good drainage, expand the road? What do you think can really solve this particular situation? It's becoming an eyesore. It's becoming a huge embarrassment to Nigerians, even to this administration. Now, you could see the car. People are like, trying to, in a federal road. That is my annoyance. Mercy.
This is really sad, trust me. The fact that most of these contractors are saying that they are not being, paid well to do this road. Well, at the same time, I feel they shouldn't just employ or give the contract to whosoever they want to give the contract to. It should be those persons that they are giving a contract to, to do, especially federal roads like these. They should be well, inspected to know if they are capable of doing the job. And another thing, for them complaining that they are not paying them well or giving them money to get quality materials. I don't know. I feel they should be like a consequences. If you are being given a contract to do and you didn't do it well, there should be like a consequences for it. There should be like, okay, let me say consequences for it. So that if any other persons are coming or any other contractor are being given jobs to do, they would want to do it right, because they know if I don't do it right, there's going to be like a consequences for it, or like, if I don't do it well, they would be like a punishment for it or so. I feel at that point they would up their game to do the right thing and get the right materials.
All right, you're absolutely right about that. Consequences, call it cause and causality. If you don't do the right thing, definitely you'll get the axe. But these allegations of, kickback and kickfort, and maybe that's the reason why the contractors have not been, brought to book. You get to realize that if it costs 500 billion, so to speak, just, trying to paint an example for a particular project that the contractor was given, let's say 400 billion, the remaining 100 billion, what did it go to? Allegedly. You see where we're going to right now. So you're able to punish anybody. After all, you have your own share. So let me manage the one that I have. If you get to show the job, that is on you. Anyway, the states of the roads in this particular country right now, major roads in the south, southeast, southwest, in deplorable conditions. Talking about the federal road, to me, is a huge stain to this administration. And of course, you can trust the rain is going to expose so many things about the structure, about the strength, about the durability of our roads. And if you talk about roads and prices, they're interwoven. If a road is bad, how can one bring forth agricultural produce outside agricultural produce? What about you transporting goods and services from point A to point B? Is going to lead to skyrocketing of prices of goods and commodities, and nobody really wants that. So thank God for Mahi. He came to Benin. Others went to other side to see the state of the road. Like what Marcelina said, I hope they'll just swing into action swiftly to start correcting these anomalies, because if it remains the way it remains, definitely is going to be an eyesore, a huge stain on this administration. So Mercy, what are we expecting from you in Lagos today?
So we are focusing on 2027 election. It is close by. How are the opposition parties preparing for the 2027 election? How are they preparing to unseat the ruling president? Because, you know, they started the whole coalition stuff. It didn't work out. And this group, G100, you know, tried to make them come together to pick a particular presidential candidate. But Obi is not accepting it. Atiku is not finding it funny. You know, they just want to, you know, contest on their own. Obi or the Obi comes, you know, to say that even though I come out as a presidential candidate, this particular person come out, we will be able to, you know, defeat or we'll be able to win the seat. It's not about we coming together, but Nigerians and some people feel that if these political parties, the opposition parties rather, ADC, NDC, and some other opposition parties, if they should come together, you know, pick one person or appoint one person that all of them will support, they will be able to unseat the president. But the opposition parties, they do not want that. I mean, Atiku wants to contest, Obi wants to contest. Let's see what happened. We will just talk about the preparedness for the forthcoming 2027 election. Are the opposition party prepared enough to unseat the ruling party? So that will be our conversation today from Lagos.
All right, now that seems to be a very interesting topic in the sense that some are, like, you know, predicting that a replay of what happened in the previous presidential election might repeat itself because the opposition, they're not cooperating. They are not at all. Anyway, from our Benin studio, we're taking a look at Edo at 35. Yes, the dynamics in the changes of governments. That is what we're taking a look at from Benin studio, because Take It or Leave It, Edo State created 1991, August 27, which is today. And if you count properly, you get to realize that Edo State is no longer a baby. Edo State is now a matured entity, if you want to go by age. We're taking a look at the dynamics in governments. How has it really affected the people? Is Edo State better off? In comparison to the states that Edo State was created alongside, if you want to compare development stride, is Edo far above these states? Is Edo State below the states, or they are at par with these states? It's all about governments. It's all about government policies and implementation. It's all about, you know, the person that is in charge. We're taking a look at some aspects, some sectors in Edo State. I'm going to, like, you know, analyze it, because my analysts will be on the ground to really throw more light into this. And after all this, you get to make your own or form your own opinion if truly Edo State is really, really growing. Some are saying Edo State is shining, and they are still speaking it. Others are asking, are you speaking by faith? Some are saying, no, we consider Edo State is shining. Others are saying, no, it isn't shining. So, shining agenda, not shining agenda, we are all in it together. But analysts will be the one to really throw more light on this particular discussion segment of Edo State turning 35. Right now, we'll go for a break. When we return, it's all about the papers this morning. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
some days, there comes the Ugemobo Festival, which the Oba celebrates outside the palace gate. A pavilion is built of red cloth where rites are performed to drive away all evil spirits still unsatisfied by the year's sacrifices. The Emobo Festival is to commemorate an event in Benin history which dates back to 1504 AD.
It's that time for us to flip to the pages of the newspapers to bring out the headlines making rounds. Okay, quickly, let's delve into the blueprint. On the blueprint, we have these headlines. Article's third fuel subsidy U-turn shows is playing dirty politics, says presidency. We have insecurity. SGF inaugurates committee on national 5-year strategic defense plan. All right. Now that seems to be what is on board right now when you talk about strategic defense plan, because it's all about safeguarding the people. It's all about doing the right thing to make sure that people who are sick can really sleep with their two eyes closed. And other Nigerians, excuse me, they've been clamoring for. Okay, now if you now go further on the Blueprint newspaper, you're going to see some other intriguing headlines that is really making some Nigerians excited, while some trying to think about the country that they are in even right now. Now, still on the Blueprint newspaper. Okay, 2027 Yari-led presidential campaign cancel. A list will be adjusted, not reviewed, says presidency. And ROEA unveils Ramco as FG targets 8,000 megawatt power by year end. Tinubu IPI. Okay, Gold Cup. Mon veteran journalist Dotun Oladipo. Sports on the 20 Women's World Cup. Nigerian Sparkle step up preparation in Poland. Now that is for sports lovers. Now let's take a look at the Daily Times. On the Daily Times, we have these headlines on the Daily Times. DTN at 100. Ambassador Dele Cole. Remo Shegun Oshoba, Chief Oyema Ogochukwu, Mr. Sam Amuka Pemu, Prince Nduka Obaigbena confirmed attendance at event. One terror group took 90% of Nigerians' ransom in 12 months, says SBM intelligence report. That is, one terror group took 90%. IMF tells Nigerians to deepen reforms as 70.8% of firms cite taxes. Okay, and subsidy wahala, articles 8 clash as presidency demands clarity. Because people like saying that this is so good to be true, but I said that we should go back again to subsidy regime. It might not just augur well for Nigerians. Some might say, well, it augur well. No, they really want to feel the impact of this particular subsidy or subsidy regime. Now let's take a look at the Tribune. On the Tribune, we have these headlines: subsidy regime, articles confusion difficult to ignore, says presidency. And we have Tinubu, NGE, Go Cup, IPL orders Mondo to Oladipo, and FG inaugurates commitment on national threat assessment 5-year defense plan. Drop proposed ranching scheme for FCT Plateau 4 order state. 16 billion US dollars power fund. Probe me if you have evidence. Atiku tells Tinubu. Visit Ekiti to see deplorable Ado Abuad a John Road. Afebalola writes Tinubu. And US suspends immigrant visa application as Trump tightens immigration rules. Operative trace 3.5 billion naira cryptocurrency proceeds, arrest suspects. Over 2 billion Nigerians living with avoidable blindness, says ophthalmologist. That is the ophthalmology report. They're talking about Nigerians having difficulty when you talk about seeing, or, well, I say their sight. Now let's take a look at this day newspaper. On this day newspaper, we have this headline: Zenith Bank's 10th International Trade Seminar charts path to unlocking non-oil export value. Attributable to NLNGs, Nigeria must feel the impact of fuel gas output. When President Tinubu received NLNG delegation, and FG unveils 140 billion social protection plan to tackle poverty. Olukoyede, over 500 million US dollars cash asset forfeited to FG in 3 years. All right, now let's take a look at other papers making the round, and that should be the Punch newspaper. Under the Punch newspaper, we have these headlines. It's a screamer. Article: Tinubu face of widens over subsidy, 16 billion US dollars per project. Now that is a screamer. Our presidency, APC fire back at Atiku over subsidy U-turn views. Okay, it's like, you know, a back and forth thing between the presidency and, of course, Atiku. Atiku is of the opinion that subsidies should be returned. Yes, because of the sufferings of the people. Rather, it should tax, or let's say pay the subsidy using crude oil. And the president is saying, no, that is going to have this backlash in the economy. Not after we've gone this far to make sure that things return back to normal, that might not make sense. The president right now is saying they should come and really throw more light into their own proposal of returning to subsidy. And so this is back and forth between Atiku and, of course, the presidency surrounding 16 billion US dollars per project. Yes, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has been accused of not doing too well when you talk about power. Some people allege that is the reason Nigeria is where they are when you talk about power. Some allege that because one importing some power generating sets and all of that. You could say, no, you have to come prove it. You have to come tell the world how I'm the one responsible for all this, because to him it doesn't really make sense. If you just join us, this is TMI. We'll take a look at the papers this morning. We want to go for a break. When we return, we'll continue with the papers. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
ITV, certainly the best.
Right now, let's dive into the Nation newspaper. The Nation newspaper, we have these headlines, okay? Trump revokes 200,000 U.S. immigrants visa. Now, that is a screamer. And $1 billion US Hope SP scheme to lift poor Nigerians, says First Lady. Civil servants gets 100 electric vehicles. Foreign reserve, yes, exceed year-end target at $53 billion US. Okay, and the federal government unveils 5-year strategic security operations plan. Presidency to Atiku, give clarity to your subsidy return plan. Okay, and we have our President Trump, you know, just talking about the presidency and the rest of them on the Nation's newspaper. Anyway, it's like this is the much we can take from this segment. All you need to do is to get a copy of these papers, get to read them, digest them, know what is happening around your environment. Let's remember that readers today will definitely become leaders of tomorrow. Try as much as you can to reconcave the reading culture. TMI continues with our discussion segment in a moment. Don't go away. After all, a door is 35. We'll be right back.
The land of Onwa is inhabited by the people with common ancestry, language, religion, economic and socio-political ties. However, irrespective of their subtitle differences in language and culture, they share common traditions. The people are known for their hospitality. Onwa traced their origin to Benin Kingdom as a result for a man to find a comfortable place for living. The name Onwa was derived from the largest and longest river in the area, which is known as Onwian or Onwa. It means one who makes merry in affluence.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain, which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
Some days, there comes the Ugemobo Festival, which the Oba celebrates outside the palace gate. A pavilion is built of red cloth where rites are performed to drive away all evil spirits still unsatisfied by the year's sacrifices. The Emobo Festival is to commemorate an event in Benin history which dates back to 1504 AD.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI, and of course this is the Benin studio. Edo State turned 35 today. It was created in 1991, August 27, and it's been this, addition of years. Yes, from 1991 till up to this particular moment, 2026. Edo State has been among the states making news in Nigeria, even feeling this global impact because of our government policies and of course our implementation. You get to realize that when you talk about a state, definitely you must take a look at its progression, or actually look at the dynamics of governance, the dynamics of government. We had a military administration, from there to democratically elected government administration, the one that really started democracy in Edo State Democratic Road. We have John Odige Oyegum, and the thing just goes on and on to Lucky Igbenedion. And of course we had Osareme Osumbo. From there also we have Adam Zabiu Oshomole. Yeah, I hope I'm not missing anyone. And then after that we now have a Godwin Obaseki. And after going to Obaseki's administration, we are now in Senator Monday Okpebolo's administration. So Edo State have gone through, close to over 5 governors, so to speak, and in the particular regime of each governor, Edo State citizens, they have stories to share. Some are so happy with some administration, while some are sad also with some administration. But during the growth trajectory of Edo State, would you say that Edo State being 35 we are where we ought to be. Would you say that Edo State, turning 35 with some other states in comparison that was given birth to the same day, are we lagging behind or we are in forefront? Are we in a par with these other states created with Edo State? So making some comparison this morning, and government policies, programs and implementation, how is it affecting the citizens? Are the citizens better off? All these and more, we take a look at today's discussion segment from the Benin studio. With me here, I have our comrade Okoro Osahon Obaraye. He is the PRO to Oedo local government. Comrade, thank you so much for making a time to be here. Just on the short notice.
Thank you so much. Good morning. Good morning, viewers at home.
All right, sitting very close to me, I have one that is in the academia, and of course is into politics. He's a religious scholar. Jimmy, to welcome Alhaji Ahmed Iwaike. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Mr. Wixon. Good morning, viewers at home. Good morning, comrade.
All right, within the next 5 minutes, you're about to be also joined individually by Favrez Opere, talking about, an entrepreneur, politician, a human rights activist. When it comes on board, I'm going to bring him in individually to share his own views and opinions in this particular discussion. Let me start off with Comrade Okoro Osahon Obaraye. Edo at 35. It's like there's no glitz, no glamour of celebration this time around. What can you make out of it?
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, I want to congratulate the good people of Edo for attaining this milestone of 35. It has not been rosy, but I think from the look of things, there's light at the end of the tunnel. 35 years ago, some of us were in secondary school, and now we become fathers. So if we also try to analyze where we're coming from, where we're going, and the future, I think we're in a better place. It might not be who we yet, but I think the path is getting clearer and better. First of all, I think it is worth celebrating because we are not in a war zone. It is worth celebrating. You called me yesterday and I'm here. In some places, it's on same climb, you call and there's no way of coming out. So I think in some places too, you call today and as we speak, things not be going well. I am not a prophet of doom, but a prophet that see far beyond. Where Edo is now with his age mate, I think we can say if Edo was my son, I can say Edo, you are doing well, but you can do better. These are your failures, these are your plays, this is what you need to put in place. But I think for you to be standing at 35, at least before you get to 45 or 50, this is what you can do to attain such this, towards this. You've not failed, because sometimes when you say somebody has failed, it's a painful thing. I get it now. But I think if you also see, when it started 35 years ago, starting from our people who made it, the likes of Chief Lucky Nosaka Ibenedio, Odigio Oyegu, Professor Sayeme Osumbo, down to Adaso Shomole, down again to Gordon Baseki, President Luke Merulo. I think we are in a direction. I get it now. We have some states where for the past 35 years, it has been killing, it has been state of emergency, it has been one bloodshed to the other. But for Edo, I think presently as we speak, some years ago, kidnapping was rampant and daily. Some years ago, cultism was on a daily basis. Some years ago, you can't leave your place and promise coming back almost immediately. But for the very just now, I think it is getting better and soft now. I get it now. So me, I think where Edo is now, the time has come for the leaders to also sit down again to draw Edo at 50. What can be better? What has not been in place? What can we do? Then the political projection for Edo before 50. So our political leaders, our political actors should again go back to the drawing board to see how best that when we sit down here in 10 years time, we can say, you remember when we said 35 years ago that it was better. You can see now that it's also good. Because I think I spoke on Edo at 25 years, I spoke on Edo at 30 years. Are you getting it now? I was on the studio to speak on this, and I think I should be able to give Edo a tap at the back to say you are doing well. For now, you've not failed. It's just left for the people within Edo to wake up and again reassure themselves that Edo can be better. Edo will be good. And truly, if we start professing positivity within Edo, Edo will be better.
Thank you so much, Osaho Koro Obari. You heard him. He said 35 years, we are doing better. Though we are not where we're supposed to be right now, we can still do better. But what do you feel about Edo being 35? Or like last year, well, I say 2 years ago, the celebration is not that loud. Is it that Edo is not happy, or what is really behind this cool, lukewarm, laissez-faire attitude to celebrating Edo at 35? But you know what? Celebrating, Ahmed.
Thank you so much. My elder brother and my comrade have said it all. Edo at 35 is not, we are not doing bad at all. Firstly, let me also join to congratulate Edolites, you know, both in Edo State, in Nigeria, and in diaspora for attaining this very age of 35 as the state. When you compare Edo with other states, yes, one would not say that you are already at par with other states compared to like Delta State that we both had the same state, you know, became a, you know, a state at the same time. But I believe those ones are to some extent a step ahead of us. But having said that, we are not doing bad at all, because compared to what the analysis of my own elder brother here, that says yes, at least there's a good political transition and we have a level of peace, you know, but it's just the instability that we are looking at. Then in this case now, you talked about the issue of why is the celebration not loud? Yes, the governor, His Excellency Modio Bewolo, has board and put, you know, dot the T's, you know, dot the I's and cross the T's, rather than most times coming on public air just to also, you know, make some frivolous statements. At the end of the day, finding it to fruition becomes what a problem. But again, I think my Edaba have also said it again that Edo should have a master plan, you know, that should be looking at Edo at 50, you know. But though the former governor, His Excellency Godwin Obaseki, had a master plan that he launched at Edo at 33. So, but you know, since it's, the instability now, it's not the same party, it's not the same ideology, but we don't know if the governor, His Excellency, can take a clue. You know, there's nothing bad about it, and looking at that master plan. If that master plan is what came in, then there's nothing bad the state government keying into that master plan. But if that master plan is also in line with his own shine agenda, it can be modified, you understand, so that at the end of the day we can have a part. Because if we don't have a projection, a plan, we will just be doing things. Maybe we are supposed to have painted this building, but we paint before plastering here. I don't know how we make the English. So instead, we should, when you ask what is assisting the Lagos State to achieve what they are achieving. Tinubu came, he did this beat. Then you know, Fashola came, he continued. Then, you know, Ambode came, he continued. So like that, they already have a master plan. Though that one is because of the political consistency within the state. Though, but in Edo, we have never really had a political consistency. You understand? So from the PDP up to the ACN, from the ACN to APC, from APC, though that one is one party, then to the PDP now are back again. So the political consistency, I know, is also affecting, because everybody now have different ideology. But me, I'm not clamoring and begging that irrespective of the political ideology that is bringing us to power, but we should just have a master plan that we all can work towards, so that everybody will know that yes, this is the projection.
I remember when Edo was created 35 years ago. I was still a very young man then, but I can still vividly remember when the celebrations that heralded that particular day. I think Oyegun was governor then, if I can remember clearly, and it was a beautiful sight that time, and you know, it was full of celebrations, and successive governments have celebrated it, you know, because it's part of our history. When you talk about Edo history tomorrow, you will always talk about that day. So it's rather unfortunate that we currently have a government now that do not even recognize this day, you know, and the importance of this day to us as Edo people. in terms of debt, in terms of every indices used to measure the growth of a state, Edo is currently lagging behind. And the reason is not far-fetched. The reason is because we currently have a government who does not even have a policy direction. This current government cannot even come out to say, look at their policy direction. They cannot even tell you that this is the policy that we have adopted, this is the policy direction that we are going in the next 4 years, or the next 3 years, or the next 2 years. They don't have it. And you cannot give what you don't have in terms of governance. The current government does not have what it takes to take Edo forward. So look, coming back to Edo at 35 is a momentous period for us as Edo people, personally as Edo people. But in terms of where we are going, in terms of the leadership that we have, I don't think we have anything to write home about.
Definitely, I will come back to you. Well, you heard his opinion, Comrade Okoro Osaho Obare. He said we are not there, we are lagging behind in comparison to other states. Talked about spate of borrowing, talked about the government of the day not having a clear direction when you talk about policies implementation. From what, if I summary, he said there is no plan by this particular administration to make Edo smile. Please.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think it's very, very funny for my very handsome younger brother, Fares Obere, to speak and lament on this type of issue. I always want to do things physically. For the past 8 years, I told you I was here when Edo was 30, and I came, I told you 2 weeks ago. Same issue. I'm not trying to compare. I don't do comparison. The way I don't do comparison is that if anything today we should speak about and be happy about to dance about that, even that is one. I'm talking about cultism. I keep repeating that. I will say it again. There's no house in Benin, no house in Benin, no house in Benin. If we have 10,000 houses in Benin, that 10,000 houses has one friend, brother, relative that belong to a court. Then that same 10,000 houses, we also have one friend, one relative, one brother who has lost somebody during this court fight for these past years. What I'm telling you, you know it. One of us felt it, we experienced it. And now somebody has said, this thing should die. Not just die, I don't want to hear it again. If you want to speak about that type of person, my brother, first of all, you stand up. Because nothing you joke with death. A man is alive. If I'm not alive, will I come here to speak? At all. With my late friend, Fedeco, would they be here to speak? People that were eliminated via court war. They were not sick. Nothing happened to them. Just sat down, the next thing, don't go. Then let's say, 13, Uselu. They are going to Gida, they are going to Siloko Road, they are going to this one, Human Being, Airport Road. I'm telling you, anybody here who has not lost somebody should come and tell me. Then I'll not tell you this is it. The present thing, you not see everybody now coming back. A friend of mine, who I did last Saturday, you know the place, told me, he said, I don't like this government, which is sitting every year for his birthday, is better. Oh, I mark my own because that it's my mother and the only son of my mom. She did that right from birth. So I just metamorphosed to it to say, but for my kids I said no. You just don't know. So you must not just say everything is bad and you are sitting so relaxed. If there was war, will you be sitting and relaxing to say, okay, it's not good, this one is not good? All right. Now let's get to hear from Ahmed. He talked about government policy. Obare struck a nerve there when he talked about the court war in the past that this administration was able to put under wraps, under control. But let's take a look at the issue of borrowing, infrastructure. Where are we right now?
Thank you. In terms of infrastructure, the government have already kickstarted infrastructural development which is visible, to everybody, like the flyover in Ramat Park, is that not an infrastructural development? Road that leads to my village. The other day, my people also protested that the road has been abandoned. What I'm trying to say is that if Obaseki had also done 100% where in the terms of infrastructural development, that road is started within the span of 8 years, it would have been able to complete a road that is not even up to 100 kilometers. Are you getting what I'm saying now? Was unable to be completed. So, but I know with the craft, my people, the governor will visit that one to also start reconstructing that. But what I'm trying to say in essence right now, that the governor is doing his best in terms of infrastructure development. The fact remains the same, that there is no way they can complete a do. Are you getting what I'm saying now? Within the span of 4 years. That is why I was emphasizing and supporting the idea of my elder brother here, that we should have a master plan. It's that master plan that will be able to fix all this area, and we should also be involved in doing standard jobs, not jobs that a governor do within 4 years of his tenure. By the time that governor is coming, that same road is no longer motorable any longer. If we are doing, we should do. If we are not doing, we should just leave it, so that at the end of the day, we will not be wasting our taxpayers' money. So to answer your question, there is no country that does not borrow. Even the United States is one of the most highest indebted country in the world, in trillions of dollars, my brother. Are you doing projects? Yes, to fund projects. You have to borrow to fund projects because the IGRO and whatever money that is coming is not sufficient. So you have to borrow so that at the end you will fund projects, and at the end you also have your own projection on how to pay those loans, those debts, and know how to pay those loans, those debts. And no successful businessman will tell you he or she did not take loan or get borrowed money to fund his or her own business. Except you just want to remain as a small SME. If you want to enlarge your own company, you have to get facilities from those persons or our own business. Except you just want to remain as a small SME. If you want to enlarge your own company, you have to get facilities from those persons that can give you facilities in order for you to boost your company to a very desirable level that you want. So in terms of borrowing, I'm not blaming the Excellency that is borrowing. I'm not even seeing anything wrong with that of his borrowing. But the issue is that all of us should also be on watch to see that, okay, what His Excellency is borrowing this money for, we are seeing it being used. Other new schools he has approved to be built, and some of them are already, they have started building. So with that, the other last time I visited this and I could see the road construction that's good. These are not federal government roads, for God's sake. These ones are just the state government that they are tying within the ASA land. So to me, they are tying within the ASA land. So to me, we may not be able to have seen much within some region, but that I've seen much within some region. But that doesn't mean it's quite too much. You may not be able to chew them. So he's doing this systematic, and this is just by November now, it'll be completely 2 years. So he still have the 3rd year, he still have the 4th year. So you never can quote what he has in his own, and he may not be and if you check the Excellency very well, he's not a loud person that always bring out most of his doings for the public to see. The only thing you just see that he has started working. You understand? So nobody knows his policy direction, but his policy direction may be with him and his executives who knows his policy direction. But he has given us just a few one of which is the Shine Agenda. And he said that agenda, breaking it down, only him and some of his executives knows what he intended to do. And as they, comes by, you see him rolling them out. But I still advocate that Edo State should have a master plan.
A master plan?
Yes,
I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. Well, Fares, you've heard both of them. Okoro Sabari talked about security. He went up memory lane to talk about the court wall that the governor was able to stop. Ahmed said, look, it's not a bad thing to borrow as long as you are doing something with this said money. But he's talking about a master plan. Please take it up from there.
Thank you very much. I'd like to respond to my very fine elder brother, Delson Kurabari. I appreciate his efforts in trying to speak well of this government, but unfortunately, let me start with the issue of courtesan where he mentioned about, which falls under insecurity. In terms of insecurity, it's quite laughable because you can't compare the level of insecurity in the Edo right now to any other state in the South. And from Edo Central, where the same governor is from, in Ekpoma, a lot of students have been kidnapped under the same administration. In the last 1 year, students are not able to come out from their hostel. Ekpoma is a ghost town. If you go to Sapele Road in Yadomo, kidnappers have taken over that area. Kidnappers have taken over that. That's in the outskirts of Benin, just after the bypass. If you go to Ovia, a lot of farmers are not able to go to farm. If you go to Uromi, Ubiaja and those areas, I'm from Uromi. I go to my village and people tell me about the courage to deal with those who are cultists within his government. I don't want to mention names, but there are people who the governor is parading around, who goes around with the governor, who are no cultists that we know, who come on Facebook to threaten people, to threaten critics that he will kill them. These are not cultists. People who have held high positions in the state, who are currently cultists that the government knows and have done nothing about it. So when you say you want to address something, you must address it holistically. You must address it with all openness and with all sincerity. And everybody, there should be no sacred cows. What we've seen recently is a situation whereby people who are public office holders who have markets at 17 billion naira. I mean, that project alone calls for investigation by the EFCC. In my place in Edo Central, they said there's a market going on. Initially, the market was awarded at 2 billion. From 2 billion, they jacked it up to 9 billion, and nothing has been done. And funny enough, though that project has been funded 90%, people have been paid, money has been collected, and people have taken those money and put it in their pocket. In Edo State law, you cannot pay more than 25% mobilization. But what we are seeing today, they set up a project, there's no open bidding for the project, there's no honest and genuine procurement process. All we do is that projects are given to friends of the government and paid night to Sapler Road. That road that was built by the previous government, opened up 27 communities. 27 communities was built with 7 billion naira. Opened up 27 communities. That's how you do projects that impact a lot of people. When you just do project because you see Wike build flyover in River State, you just go and build flyover in Edo. Is that the priority? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. There are still a lot of people who do not have access to insecurity. There was in this state that schools were closed. Schools were closed in Edo North because of insecurity. And we're talking about the government has done this, the government has done that. Please let me explain. If the government has done well, we're going to see it. But this is not well.
All right. Okay. I will come back to you, Faris. It's getting more and more interesting, but I think I'm going to call for a break. When we return, Obari, you're going to react to his comment. Talked about the court war and of course security in Edo State. He alleged that you have some courts in government. You talked about government also giving his cronies project to really fathom. Ahmed also, he talked about borrowing. Well, we are going to take a look at all these when we return after this break. After all, Edo is 35 and you have to hear the shine mantra. Edo is shining. Is it really shining? We'll be right back.
Some days, there comes the Ugemobo Festival, which the Oba celebrates outside the palace gate. A pavilion is built of red cloth where rites are performed to drive away all evil spirits still unsatisfied by the year's sacrifices. The Ugemobo Festival is to commemorate an event in Benin history which dates back to 1504 AD.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI Thursday's edition. Today, fortunately for us in Edo State, we're celebrating our 35th birthday. And we're taking a look at, the dynamics of change in governance. Like I said before, we had the first our own political administrator. Well, I say political, yes, government, not administrator. We have John Odigio Yegu, right? He was the first political politician, so to speak, to govern Edo State. From there, Chief Lucky Nosaka Igbenedium. After that, we have Professor Sino Sumba, and the court says no, is Comrade Adam Saliu Shumale that ought to be governor. He took over the reign, and after that, we had yes, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, and now we have Senator.
Till I take my last breath, I won't quarrel with Fares. He's a boy I want to see go. I would have been more happier if he was seated by me. So talking, relaxing at home, he won't get the vibes better. So that one will go who can talk. Yeah. The truth remains, one thing I want us to change the narrative about, that I speak to the coming generation, is to first of all see the positive side of life. What has helped me, that is first. Then secondly, don't always say because it's not you in charge, every other thing the other person is doing is wrong. Or sometimes I want to also advise Wilson, instead of calling sometimes, go back to archives, get our videos and play it. So people will understand that has not left the people of Egypt. Lamentation is still there. And by the time you keep still lamenting, it affects you personally, even your private life is affected. Because you still bear that grudges to say, we didn't win, you are supposed to have it all. My brother, if Aswa Ighodalo was the one in government, I will still come here to tell you the good, the bad in the government. I will not say because I lost it. I will still celebrate Edo first. That is me. So if I tell you now that insecurity in Edo is worse of this time, I will go home and the next day I will not be happy at all. I will have a bad day because my conscience will tell me, don't you know you lied? Which is not good.
You mean Fares lied?
I don't want to make sure. Listen, I said, I cannot till I beat my last.
Quarrel with Fares?
Never, no matter what it does. It's not just, it's a brother from another mother I never had, a brother from same womb I never had. So I know he knows what he's saying, he knows it. When Fares was contesting as a local government chairman then, I was not in their party, I was supporting him. I did that on my page everywhere. Because these are people I know, if they have it, it's better. Even as we speak, do you think Osaobaye will support all APC candidates? I will support them if they are good. If they are not good, he knows. I will tell you this one is better, or this one is better. I will support this one. That is me. So we must not just be partisan and lament to say because it didn't get to you. And when you not see the truth, you just hide it. My brother, listen. Let's be factual to ourselves. If I become the governor tomorrow, won't I give you a contract before giving it to Emaike? Let's be factual. We are here now.
Sure.
No, don't pretend. Don't say we are here. Will I go and give it to Mr. Chukwusa? Even though, first of all, say, Chukwusa, go and work with Wilson, because I know Wilson. Go and work with, I know Wilson. I can hold Wilson liable. Wilson, as I've given you, make sure Emaike is okay. It's politics. Don't let us come here to start speaking. I don't want to go down below. Are you not saying if the government tomorrow gives me a road contract and I need iron rod, I will not buy for Fares? I'm asking you, if the government gives me a contract tomorrow and I know we are going to do a welding job, the first person I'm going to call is him. The reason is because I know him. Will I not go and give it to one Mr. Alaji Dampusa, who I don't know? Even though if you are recommending him, I'll tell you, Oga Dampusa, make sure you work with Fares. That is me. Because we are not in politics to favor goats, dogs, and lions. We are in politics, we play it to make sure, first of all, your own stomach first. If the past 10 years wasn't good for Fares, will it not be university? you didn't enjoy the past 8 years, don't you see the chair is sitting down? No, forget about it. No, right now. Yeah. So this is, we must, you see, when you are saying the truth, you don't need to stress yourself. I'm telling you about court work. You are telling me of what is happening that's chemistry. That's it. Maka, that was rampant. You didn't tell me when they were counting 27-14. You didn't say that too. We forgot that happened. I don't want to say it happened that time, but because what Edo was key, that is past. Then secondly, you are telling me about court people in government. That is laughable. The government of before now, they budget money for the leaders of court people. Because if you also remember, in Delta State, the first flyover they did was when you are entering Delta. They did it just to decongest that place. But now, there are more flyovers spreading across. Wow. That old flyover now is updated to them. So in 4-8 years time, this one should be updated. You get a better one and a larger one. Delta had already had this type of thing before. But if you see the what Delta is doing, is you go. So if I go starting with this one too, to me, in 8 years time, when another government comes, another government will surpass this, and people will not want to go to that one, this one again. This one will be updated. That one might just go and pass through where there was no one before. Go and see, because why? It's a store to you, your fan, everything. It's a self-contained each. A self-contained each, starting again in the other one. That was why you saw the protests that happened, because if I want to give an example, let's say 3,000 stores or 3,500 stores was cut off. Because of the modernization, it now got down to about 800 or 300 stores off. It didn't go up again because they had to modernize it. If America has its own, if America is going to switch off its own, so if there's fire in your house own, it cannot enter America's own. Everything cuts down. It's just up everything one. So to protect everybody. Everything. So if fire comes there now, it's you that will suffer it. You that didn't make sure when you were living, you didn't switch off your light off. All right. You are going to suffer it. So he knows. That's why I said it. If something doesn't get to you, don't say no. It must not get to everybody. Okay. I get it because tomorrow it must not be installed again. I will play videos like that. That is why I always wanted to play my videos.
I'll come back to you, Barry. I'll come back to you. Well, let me come to you, Ahmed, because it's like I know that for us too, we have something to say about the comment of Okorosa, but if you take a look at our debt profile, some are saying Edo is among the top 10 or thereabouts that is highly or heavily indebted in Nigeria. They're saying it's not like this in the past administration. If you take a look at it, are we doing so well? Do we need to be among the top 10? We talk about indebtedness in this country.
Thank you. Like I said earlier before, have you Googled the most indebted nation in the world? Go and check the #1 rank today. Is it one of the superpower nations in the world? How does that affect them not to be one of the superpower nations in the world? Borrowing is not a problem, and I will continue to say it again. But the most important thing is, what are you using this money for? That is the most important thing. You borrowed money, you invest in a company. You borrowed money, you invest in farm. You borrow money, you invest in car business, or as the case may be. We can see what you invested the money for. And later, the investment will start bringing return. And you pay off your debt, and you become who you are. But not borrowing money to go to a pepper soup joint, or borrowing money to go and get a girlfriend. But you are borrowing money to invest. So these are two different things entirely. Edo is borrowing, and we are seeing developments. Will you now say, why should Edo now borrow? Should we now say remain an ancient city that we were before? Even the palace is no longer ancient. Did you see the modern palace the great monarch built? Or do you think it was just built with change? So Edo borrowing money for infrastructure development is not a crime. So even if Edo is ranked #1 in the entire Nigeria, it's not a big deal. But the most important thing, let us see this transformation in the states. Let us see that these monies are being spent for the betterment of the Edolites. Let us see that there are employments going on. Are you aware of the numbers of employment this governor have employed since he came in? So for us, I still stand my ground that borrowing is not a bad idea, but what you are using the money for is the most important thing. Local businesses will come. Then paying up this debt within a very quick will become an easy thing to do. Because even developed countries like I have always opined, they are still borrowing. Even when we say they are one of the richest countries in the world, how come they are still borrowing? So that question is left for you to answer.
Farai to you, you've heard both of them. This is not a matter of 2 against 1. No, I'll give everybody time to really speak their mind. You are bringing out points, bringing out the reasons why you are agreeing to X, Y, and Z. So right now, over now to you. I just know, I realize that we are all one family here, but no political party and different interests. So Farai, go ahead.
Thank you. We're saying it's not about 2 against 1 or anything. It's about speaking facts and speaking truth. You know, it's about sentiment. It's not about my personal sentiments. You know, it's not about sentiment. I don't deal with sentiment. I deal with facts. So when I talk about the issue of the governor awarding contracts to cronies on overinflated contracts to cronies, it's not about sentiment. It's about facts. That's when we at the opposition then discovered that 250 million naira was expended on the water fountain. Then, this was one of the first step of the former governor Adams Oshiomhole, because to a large extent, some of those contracts were published for people to see. That's why we also know that there was 30 billion expended by the government then on the Waterstone project, borrowed for the Waterstone project. So it is not something that the government should hoard.
Any word more than embarrassment, that's what they are. If there's a word more than embarrassment, that's what they are. Are you getting it now? That's what they are.
So you agree with it?
Yes, they are my boys. They are my boys. That's what they are. They are anything more than. Are you getting it now? And you should know that is not the face. Even when you have those people, you have Obaraye there too. So if you also see left, you see right.
No, but they're saying that they're causing more harm to the government.
I said yes, that's what they are. Just listen. What do you want? Should I now start sparking? If I tell you, say anything worse, I tell you no, withdraw that statement. I've already told you that's what they are. So they should just go. But I also told you that in that same place, that's where Obaraye is. That's where I am. Which you can't compare apart. Are you getting it now?
Yes.
I have kids at home. My second son, Osasogi, before he asked me anything, he started touching my hair. I'll tell you quickly, go to what you want to say. Why others, the guests will come and say, Daddy, this is what we want. And they not use Osasogi to get me because he knows the key. So naturally about life, you must have, life is personal. If you tell me, if I don't come to politics too, I will not say no. I want to do this, I want to speak English. I will not leave those I know and go for those I don't know. I will regret it if I leave. You know, this issue is truth. When you say it, you go home and sleep. Now, listen, I repeat again. You know, since I entered this little office that I manage, whenever you tell me there's something you want in council, because I'm there, it's easier for you.
Yeah.
Because it's easier. Before you say Jacobison, you come in and you are, even when you know it's protocol, you say you want to see your salon, and you walk up. And before you see you use it, that to me, it's life. If it was another person who was competent, coming from one of the best places in the world to come, the security will tell you to go back. But if Wisi now comes in with him, because of Wisi, rest of us is diluted. I sit with him and say, okay, Wisi, you bring him, okay. Because why? We've gone past the issue of going for one man. You know, don't you see people coming, they tell you they have masters in, look at the construction work going to the Agbo Road, where the minister ordered their arrest to say, how will you start excavating what was good when you already know you are not going to balance what is good? But tomorrow those people will say they are engineers. If they were giving you a competence, that's not a disgrace.
Thank you. But
if I've said the right, I know you and I've seen what you can do. Go. I don't need to go there and embarrass them. You didn't tell me you can do this. You are embarrassing me. Fix it back. I Michael also wants to do it because he knows since his friend and brother is here, he will get more.
More. Thank you.
What we keep saying,
yes,
and I want to repeat, Edo is worth celebrating at 35.
All right.
A child of 35 who has the ambition and who is in the representative of Edo has not failed.
Thank you so much, Okoro Sawabari. Quickly, I maybe have to go to Lagos studio right about now. Edo at 35. Edo really shining.
Edo at 35, congratulations. Edo is really shining. Yeah, if you follow the Shine agenda, Edo is shining. And he was asking about policy. Yeah. Shine agenda is enough policy for you to work on, because the government is not a loud person does not mean that does not have a working document or a policy. The Shine agenda have enshrined everything about his policy and he's working with everything. The as for the security, are we saying that there are no security? There is security in this state, for crying out loud. In the health sector, do you know how many of the health workers the state government have employed? I talked about employment the other time. In fact, it cut across board. Thank you. The health sector, do you know how many persons he has employed? In the infrastructure, we say we are not seeing the infrastructure. In education, we say we are not seeing the work in education. Is there strike now in most of the those state institutions? Do you know the subvention is given to Abu Salim University? You know what? In education, no aspect of the Shine agenda, and you are saying there is no working policy. Shine agenda is enough policy to work with. Nobody is saying Governor Mewolo is a saint, for God's sake, but to us as an Edola, for what we are saying, in just less than 2 years, this governor has proven to us that he's a man that we can trust Edo with, and he's doing well as far as Edo is concerned. It's not about big grammar, no, but the governor is doing fantastic well as far as this Shine agenda is concerned. He's taking Edo to a very good level.
Perez there.
Best baby is trying.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that is that.
Yes,
Perez, are you there?
He's doing well. The governor is doing well.
All right, gentlemen. I really want to appreciate your wonderful analysis. You've heard them. It's not about 2 against 1. No, they all spoke well, saying the reason why they're saying yes, Edo is worth celebrating. The governor is shining. Of course, get to hear the other reason that other person is saying no, we are not doing well. The Edo state is not shining. They gave reasons backed up with their own evidence, so to speak. But in court, once your evidence supersedes your opponent's evidence, you become the winner. Anyway, we keep on watching. But they both agree to one thing. Those kind of embarrassing things now, please, really. You should stop. You should stop. Anyway, let's go on the break. We'll hand over to Lagos. Those embarrassments should stop. Anyway, Edo 35, a big congratulations to you. I know we can do better. We are not there yet. We can do better. But for now, I believe that Edo State is really trying. Yes, they are trying compared to their powers. We'll go on a break. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Perez, thank you also for coming on today's show. We appreciate you. We'll hand over to Messelina Onkwo in our Lagos studio after this break.
Onwa is rich in culture and traditions. The people are a mixture of traditional worshippers, Muslims and Christians. Onwa is located at the northern part of Edo State. It consists of 2 local government areas, that is Onwa West and Onwa East. It has a total number of 13 clans and 21 political wards, according to National Population Commission 2006 census. The population of Onwa people is put together at 251,686. The people love tradition and culture. Historically, the people ancestors in deep quest to hand down on their future children a society.
Many thanks for rejoining on this morning on ITV. I am Marcelina Unko, and today the result our guest was unpacked to this conversation is Kenny Odubemi. He is a political analyst. Hello, good morning, Otumba.
Good morning. Pleasure to be with you.
Good to see you. It's been quite a while.
Lord for his faithfulness. At least we are alive and well. Something that is we should be discussing about.
Comment.
Thank you.
All right, this morning we're talking on a 2027 election and Kumbetse factors, chances of opposition party, the chances of the opposition party to unseat the ruling party, which is the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And like I said earlier, there's a lot to talk. 2027 election draw closes. Opposition parties are stepping up efforts to challenge the ruling parties, and but beyond political alliances and declarations, are they truly prepared to unseat the incumbent president? Are they truly prepared to unseat APC? Like I said earlier, there's a lot to talk about. The opposition says it wants to unseat peace. Does it have the unity, structural resources, grassroots support, and credible alternative to actually achieve? They are supposed to meet August 31st, for like a summit, even though Atiku and Obi have said that, they wouldn't come together, to form one political party or to appoint to represent them. Because people feel at this point it's only when they come together, appoint one person, support that person, would be able to unseat the ruling party. Otumba, how prepared are Nigerians opposition parties for the 2027 forthcoming election?
Thank you very much. What of us is quite very intelligent and very interesting and will prove to be very exciting in view of the present situation within the political situation within the country. I would like to first start by giving structural formation, because if they are probably in eagerness to compete, they must compete on certain leverages. Let's first look at carefully the structure that they're talking about, because competition must be based on structure, competition must be based on policy, it must be based on issue, it must be based on looking at the reforms and plan. It is more or less a competition between real reform, because, for instance, Constitution, I've gone through some realignment process. We're still going through, but I'm quite very sure none of them wants to come together as a formidable force. Let's first start by unraveling the structural formation of APC and opposition. APC has power of incumbency, which you know. They control the federal resources. Only federal resources, all that national got 31 states they have deflected, the 31 governors have deflected. So they contain federal resources and also 31 subnational resources. That is a gain. Then 2, they have various reform on course. We are talking about fuel subsidy, we are talking about foreign liberalization, naira flotation, we are talking of tax reform. Those are gain international credence, international recognition. Then 2, you also know that there had been quite a lot of realignment within the APC, because quite a lot of people actually defected from their party to APC to form another level of coalition But this one now is not a multi-coalition, it's a single coalition. A lot of people move from PDP, a lot of people move from LP, all of them gravitate towards APC to make APC a formidable party. That is the situation of things as of today. But let's look at the opposition. You know, if you want to compete, your structural formation matters in the competition. One, as of today, it is quite clear there's quite a lot of fragmentation within the opposition because none of them want to come together. They were moved by G100,
yeah,
to ensure that they come with their proper realignment so that they can come with one voice. But as of today, let me be frank with you, even proud today, I know the whole thing will hit the rock.
But they are set to meet August 31st.
I'm telling you, the whole thing will hit the rock. Why is this? The contending partner, one, Obi, two, Atiku, all of them have their support base.
Mm-hmm.
And two of them have entitlement mentality. Even if they, as an individual, agreed that they want to come together, they are coming together as an individual, not with their structure, not with their support base. As of today, their support base will not come to it. In fact, their body language is already that they are not coming together. That is the support base. And without the support base, can you do anything? The answer is no. Then two, today it's obvious that most of the parties do not have a vision. They've not established their vision. All they are doing is opposing APC, and window dressing and dancing around the sun, most of the policy, without coming out with a clear-cut policy. Obi is saying, I will face the remover. That I will remove, but face by face. Atiku is saying, I will remove, but I will only attack production. The simple thing is this. If you say you want to incentivize production, as of today, even the main person, the DPR, refinery, needs 13 to 15 barrels per day, which they cannot meet. The reason is very simple. The quota system of the requirement for optimal capacity, Dangote is doing 750,000. As of today, we can't even meet, which is supplying by 92% of the entire PMS requirement. As of today, we cannot meet his own. We are also windowed, despite the fact that the 40% that was supposed to go to NNPC, the federal government actually instructed them to supply to full supply to Dangote. As of today, Dangote is still bringing in crude oil for processing at a high price, and it's only blending. So at the end of the day, is adding what we have is going to import to be able to meet the optimal capacity. Dangote proud to this time is on 650,000 liters per day. He wants to gravitate to 1.4 million. That's quite huge. Now, so as of today, if you look at it there, they have no agenda. They're selling. APC has an agenda.
So I was able to tell you that.
For instance, APC is leveraging on the reform they have, which I've mentioned earlier on.
You mentioned the removal of fuel subsidy.
I said removal of subsidy, liberalization.
Well, are Nigerians benefiting from the removal?
Yeah, they are benefiting heavily. Oh yes, because you see, let me explain
tell us.
A lot of people are confused. People don't even know the meaning of removal of fuel subsidy. They don't even understand the myth behind it. If they say removal of fuel subsidy, they are not talking about the gains of the removal. They are not talking about what their mind goes to is PMS price. No, that is not PMS price alone. For instance, as of today, government has initiated a $1 billion for social welfare package, which you know. As of today, government has increased the minimum wage, which you know, from 30 to 70. Is that not clear? As of today, the stock market is at a peak now, out of which the Nigerian, the local transaction, the local contribution is almost 92. They are almost sending the foreigner away, which means that the portfolio investment has shifted from foreign to local, which you know. Net fund, which you know as of today, those are where, and coupled with that, infrastructure that in this country is huge. infrastructure. Because if you don't enable your infrastructure, how do you now put value to commerce? A lot of people thought it's only the PMS price. PMS, for instance, the PMS you are talking about, crude oil is a standard.
So are you saying
price.
the money they removed from the subsidy actually what they are using?
This is what they are using for all those. Remember, all those are having. Today, excess that the government is doing is about 30 trillion. From all those things I've listed discussing government, 30 trillion extra. Apart from the budget, what budget do you have? They've changed the budget to about 63 trillion. Now, entire budget. The budget started with 51 trillion. The question is this: when people do not understand, they begin to how are you doing their money? I've explained to you quite a lot. Recently, as of today, I've told you now, the social welfare, talking about mechanization, they've imported about 12,000 tractors to be distributed. Repositioning of the country, we are now repositioned in a manner.
But
remember,
infrastructures. Have you seen some roads in some state lately?
You said some roads in some state. There are 3 levels of roads. Federal government will do federal road. Hold on. You know the major problem why Nigeria is not seeing anything? It's at the subnational level. The problem of this nation today is the people, is the governors, is the National Assembly. Those are the people. Look, let me be frank with you. The federal government will do what we call tertiary intervention. State government is to do secondary intervention. The local government is supposed to do the as of today. For instance, as of today, cumulatively, the federal government of this area is on 52% to 48%. 52% to the federal government, 48% to the state government. As of today, the 48 is to state to the local government. As of today, the government of various states, only few of them are delivering value. They've been able to, in fact, we said autonomy of local government. There's no autonomy. It's only some few states that will have autonomy. With you, how can you run a nation that want to give back the dividend? If they say we want to see the revenue flow, the impact on people is not the way to go. Remember, in this country, they do conditional transfer out of this money. Conditional transfer now to about 8 point something that will reach about 99 million people, which will have a multiplier effect on another 4 per house, which is 36. So we're saying these are where governor, and of today, look at it, the Bonga, there is an investment of about 50 billion in the oil or deep onshore. How do you facilitate that when you don't invest? People should understand the investment is galvanizing those things. I appreciate the fact that people are saying so it is the selfish people in the anger. Let's look at it. Across 36 states we have in Nigeria, only can you see 5 states that is viable, and they've received more than 5% of that, 5 times of the allocation. Let me be frank with you. When you talk about alleviating poverty is not giving you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Alleviating poverty is enable the system. How do you enable the system? Provide road infrastructure. How many of the states are actually constructing road? They inherited quite a lot from other central government. Probably the people that are doing Enugu Mba, I give thumb to him. The governor is a super person. You can see Akpako, one in Edo State. They are the governor that is working. Kaduna, I'm naming them at my fingertip. They are the one that are working. Borno is working.
So what you're saying now is the state governors should be held responsible for
state governor and the National Assembly should be held responsible. Because, look, there's what we call devolution of power, separation of power. The federal government, by constitutional provision, has remitted quite a lot of flow to the state. But what are the states doing in it? Remember, the federal government has a federation structure. That is, they have called a federation structure. Look, rail has been deregulated. The state can do their rail. NEPA, electricity, they can do their NEPA. They can do their port. That is what we call deregulation. That is what we call creating a federal structure. Federal government has instituted a federal structure provision. Many of the people in the states, I've told you about 5 states. Look, about 5 states is doing what the federal government is doing. How do you now want people to feel it? The per capita income of the people in those states have improved. Go to Abia State. Abia State was in a state of complete things, because the serious governors that have been there were doing anything. Abia say per capita government is look Abia say they're generating the electricity. Is that not so? So what I'm saying is this: people should be coming for accountability from the state governor, from their National Assembly, from the House of Rep, from the Senator. Those are the people that we have in this country. They are the people that are the most corrupt set of people that I know. Look at the in charge of the councillor. Is that not so? They influence National Assembly. They influence House of Rep. They influence Senator. They influence ministers too. All of them actually produce a minister. Non-functional people that are not even adding any value. So people should determine to look for accountability. I am not absorbing the federal government of they've not reached there. But when it comes of giving a thumb up to the policies and the reform on ground, I give thumb up to them. However, there's a caveat to it. The caveat to it is that I give thumb up to the reform, but I do not give thumb up to how they are doing it and optimal result they are supposed to get. You know, if you are on the right course, and the right course is one thing, but who are managing the course for you, the outcome we get is another thing. The problem with the federal government is one, they are making a lot of effort, but they are living large. Look at the president when he's going the convoy. How do you expect people to talk? Look at the Senate president. Look at the House of Rep, the speaker. Look at the life they live. Look at the senator. They live like dingo and they want people to sacrifice. Those are the problem. The problem in this nation is indiscipline and inability to control insatiable tasks for wealth, to display wealth. That's why people are always crazy to go to the house, because the highest paying job we have now is the politics. You can imagine how much they're taking. A senator cumulatively will take nothing less than 100 million. Why do they want to die there? Come to think of it, a governor that have just served 8 years, all cronies, either dead or alive, he doesn't care. He wants to become senator. If there's no gain, you can imagine how many somebody they have almost crippled their state. And look at it now. They are now even putting their protege to continue. Look at the problem in Nasarawa. Is it not the same thing? Where Nadada was the governor actually nominated Wadada, and the wife, I'm on live TV, the wife distributed 350 million to people, 50,000. He said he's doing empowerment. Along the line, we say, vote for my husband. How? Where did they get so much money? Is that my donkey?
Okay, coming back to the opposition strategy, right? Let's talk. Has the opposition started? Do you think they're preparing early enough, or the APC they're already ahead of them? You know, talking about what Atiku said if he's been elected, I suppose that he would, you know, bring back subsidy.
Thank you. Atiku, to the best of my learning, is a dreamer. He's a desperado. Atiku 81. Is older than Abdul Salam.
But the president is older.
Oh,
we don't know what the president, I mean.
The age is declared.
Okay.
I'm not talking for the president. The age is declared. He's 71. I'll be 72. I'm not talking about the age. But the one that Abdul Salam even said, he said, Atiku is a year older than him. To me, I see Atiku as a desperado who want to. But how can they win? Let me tell you.
How can they win?
Yeah, let me tell you.
Okay, tell us.
How can they win? As of today, let's extract them. Almost all the opposition parties are fractionalized. That is, there's internal dispute. ATC, there is internal dispute. We don't know. If anybody becomes anything, it's still subject to court case. PDP, they have 3 presidential aspirants, which means they have a zoning issue, zoning fight, which you know. That gave right to Rainbow Party in Rivers. LP, they have leadership tussle. To get the chairman of the party is the problem. Today, they are still in court. Not to talk of Accord. Accord too is factionalized. So if you look at it, that has encouraged massive defection.
What about NDC?
NDC is also factionalized. NDC is also factionalized. We have NABA that is fighting them. They are so, if anybody is on NDC, you are on your own. Because they've not actually settled the case.
But do they really need to come together to be able to unseat the president?
They cannot win they can't win if they don't come together. I am being frank. No single Indian compete against actually involved the actually have.
But what about,
let me tell you.
sorry, let me come in there. What about you made mention, I mean, you've been saying, oh, the federal government has done this, they've done that, and all of that. But with the current situation in Nigeria, I mean, in terms of insecurity, in terms of the economic, in terms of economy, insecurity, and all of that, I feel, don't you think at this point, the people, I mean, Nigerians, they know what they want because of what they are seeing that has been happening. Because you're hell-bent on, oh, you do not see any other opposition party that will be able to, to unseat the ruling president.
Hold on now. Don't be a proxy to any one of them. I'm analyzing based on ideology. Let's come to think of it. If you want to unseat somebody, you won't be able to match it from strength to strength. Let me give you. On economy, we're doing well. I've told you the major issue, the major problem, why the masses are not getting is the governor. Governor and National Assembly, they are the thieves. I'm not going to hold back. I'm alive and well. My name is.
But these are your words, though.
These are my words. Yes, I'm saying, the federal government has instituted a federation structure. How many of the governors are building the new road? How many of the governors are building the school in view of ×5 of the money? What they've done, let me tell you, the governors are going for political correctness. The recurrent expenditure they have is between 60 and 80. If you use all your money to do recurrent expenditure, they have little for the capex. They are even encroaching on the money. How do you expect a governor to do well when he's sending the wife of the local government chairman to abroad for training in order to help their local government? Tell me. How would they do well? How would they do well when all the governors are building flyover when it's not necessary? How would they do well? How would they do well when the road are substantial? Concrete road is what they are doing now. How many governors are doing concrete road? Let me give a typical example. All of us are seeing the rot in Lagos, the death along the streets. Is it federal government that is doing that? Answer me now. The question I say is this. You have, for instance, on insecurity. I appreciate that we're insecure, but what is the cause of insecurity? Insecurity has a nexus with the local government. Let me be frank with you. Because the local government are doing next to nothing. There's no road to all the villages. There's no light to all the villages. They are not doing anything across the village. Where do the miscreants hide? They hide within the people. Even as of today, in insecurity, I'm not a spokesman for this government. I'm only analyzing ideology. What I'm saying is this government has instituted a process for state police. This government want to deregulate security in such a way that, in fact, they've regulated entire security architecture, separating homeland security from offshore security. That is the thing again I say so. Which government has done it? Today, this government has introduced 4 divisions to add to the existing one. We have 8, it's now 12. This government has added 28,000 of boots on ground. Those are the people, those are what this government has told us. They are marching towards $1 trillion economy, FY 2030. Which means they have to grow the economy ×20 consecutively. And they've established a structure. For somebody who said they want to compete, let me be frank with you. Don't come and window dress on the policy. Tell me you want to run like Atiku. You see, Atiku thinks he's smart. You can't be smarter than many of us because we read books. You can't talk of fuel subsidy. If you want to talk, tell us that 1, you will remove fuel subsidy. You will not liberalize foreign exchange. You will expect foreign exchange to become where people can do anything in the foreign exchange market. You will tell us it's tax. You will not do any tax reform. You tell us that you won't float the naira. Everybody, you need naira to bargaining power. You will tell us you will not do commission. This regional commission, you will not do commission. You will tell us that you will not do concurrence. Because out of the day, this government is running by concurrence. He's saying now that most of what the federal government is doing, they should repeat it at the state level. You will tell us that you won't do nail form until you say you give us an alternative for all this. That's why I know that you are competing. Don't come and say, I will do it. Don't do it. Remove this completely. Atiku is saying he will remove it and introduce it later. I mean, Kajoli. Let's now talk. Let's talk on policy. This government has said to do $1 trillion economy. I need people to create an alternative and say, I'm going to do $2 trillion economy by 2030 and give us road plan. 2, I need people who decide to say they will return fuel subsidy. They will not do tax reform. They all and counter narrative. As of today, let me be frank with you. The reserve that we had before was 3 billion. As of today, we are on 52.83 billion. The reserve has grown by 15.95. As of today, this government has done 6,000 roads. What are we looking at now? As of today, when you're talking about security, they've introduced 4 divisions. There's 28,000. As of today, now, are the people prepared? These are the people that brought out their own presidential campaign. Have you heard any presidential campaign of any other? No. Because they don't even know what to do. They are late in the preparation. Opposition have not galvanized today. They say they will wake up today, they will sleep today, they will wake up tomorrow. And yet we want to win election. Remember, election is about 774 local government. We have 176,846 polling booths for people to be guided.
So, Wotumba, all these things you're saying, you know, it still boils down to Nigerians. If Nigerians should come out to want to, if the election is being free, fair, and credible, like Nigerians, they decide to come out to vote for who they want to vote for, do you think the president stands a chance?
The president has a...
Do you think he stands a chance?
It's landslide now.
If the election is being free, fair, and credible.
Let us define what is free and fair. Because people use a lot of English to deceive people. Remember, what is the characteristic of election in Nigeria? The characteristic impunity is there. Ethnic sentiment is there. Religious bigotry is there. Can you control that? Impunity is there. Entitlement mentality is there. Violence and then gun is there. Until you remove that, that's when you begin to talk of free and fair election in Nigeria. If those ones are not there, then 2, as of today, let me be frank with you, INEC. INEC is emboldened. INEC has been encumbered by too many things. Remember INEC? They are the one that is doing party registration. INEC are the one, for instance, the electoral tribunal, they don't have power to prosecute. They say have to rely on justice. INEC is the one to do result collation. INEC is the one to do dispute resolution. Look at that. You understand? A test case of what they've done. They've done available in Osun State. Yes. But yet, INEC is not in charge of the logistics. Until you put all those things in perspective, that's why we begin to talk of free and fair. For instance, INEC has beavers. They have redundant beavers. They prepare capacity because they have enough money. Remember, INEC is not in charge of connectivity. We have mobile network operator. Remember, in the north, quite a lot of transmission towers have been vandalized. So the real time is already not hindered. So when you say voice of until you put everything I've mentioned, if they are in order, just like in a civilized country, then we can now be to see how fair it is. You know the problem. Most of the people who campaign against it, this administration are only doing a window dressing, a shadow effect. I've told you, for them to compete, they must bring everything contrary to what I've explained. I'm not speaking for them. I'm not speaking for APC. I'm only doing an ideological framework. Let's talk about it. We're saying now that the regional limitation. Let me be frank with you. They're going to work against one another. If you want to win election in Nigeria, let me tell you, win. Kano is 1. Lagos is 2. Rivers is 3. These are the population, and Oyo is 4. Look at how they jeopardize it. Let me tell you how they jeopardize. As of today, Atiku is only doing a forced breathing in the northeast. You know when you do forced breathing, even he's not in charge of Adamawa, his own base. So he wants to do a forced breathing. Look at the major factor in Kano. Kano is already fragmented. Kwankwaso cannot have the state you used to have in Kano. I'm telling you, it cannot have.
What makes you think so?
Good. In Kano now, there are structures. They run by structure. For instance, proud to this time, there's a difference between NNPP, Kwankwasia movement. Kwankwasia movement is the machinery that the Kwankwaso use. NNPP was the party he was using before he started gallivanting from one party to the other. He's now in ADC. Is that not so? As of today in Kano, we have 4 structures that is completely against him. Abba, current governor, he was the one in charge of the structure of Kwankwaso. He's on his own. Is that not so? Ganduje is on his own in Kwankwaso. Sekerao is in Kwankwaso. And let me tell you, a very prolific senator, he want to contest for, it was the only senator of NNPP. They did not give him chance to be acting. Kwankwaso gave his son. The senator, Kwankwaso gave another person. That particular senator now has moved to APC, which is structure.
Don't forget, Kwankwaso is with Peter Obi.
Peter Obi is a different measure. I will analyze Peter Obi case. I'm saying, let me pick today and dissect them one by one. Dissect them. It's not the name, their influence is what I'm dissecting. Let me now come back to Peter Obi. I appreciate him. I appreciate his fronting. But Peter Obi, be straightforward in your discussion. You can't be telling us that you have not seen what they use by the fuel subsidy. You are embarrassing people like us. It's an insult on our intelligence. If you say you've not seen what they've done with the 15 trillion. It will, cancer session, they have about 6 cancer sessions around the region. They are in operation. All the major operations, the project they are doing in the state. Now, there's a problem in one state, in Benin Road, that they went through concessionaire. The Minister of Works is already there now to attend to it because the concessionaire, nobody will talk about concessionaire, they will talk about the federal government. Is that not so? They say if you want to talk about peck in somebody's eye, you remove the one in your eye. I'm for ideology. I'm not for any party. So let us now talk. We're talking about Obi. Fine. Obi, try to be straightforward. I know you want to be president. Be very objective. Appreciate what is on ground. Give us a superior understanding of how you do it. Don't tell me you will face this. Don't face it. Remove it completely. Give us a master plan of how you do your own. You are talking about security. This government has given 4 divisions. They built 28. Tell me that you don't need 4 divisions. You don't need this thing. You won't have talking relationship. You won't have U.S. relationship to cope insecurity. Yet you will win. After the last time he said he spoke with the madman to do security in Anambra. As of today, let me refer to it. I'm analyzing them. They win. As of today, we are talking about obedience. Obedience is OBE. Obedience is OBI. The two of them are not the same thing. OBE were the initial obedient movement. Because as that, I told you now that it is realignment and reform. It is not party issue. It is not Muslim issue. It is not a protest vote that they did in the last election they're going to do now. It is different. The philosophy is different. The ideology is different. As of today, OBE has devolved from the Obedience Caucus. We now have OBI, which is the caucus of obedience. Those are the people we have now. I'm not saying he has no chance. I'm only trying to say they've been stripped of that, the force they were having before. They are now obedient, those people who are close to him. And you know, the idea of Muslim will not go anywhere now because they've seen the performance. The idea of using religious connotation will not go now. The idea of protest vote will not go. It is based on ideology. So I want anybody who wants to compete based on ideology, not working on the idiosyncrasies and the nuisance within our system.
So at the same time, I still feel what the people want would count. I mean, we saw what happened in Oyo State election. The people came out, they turned up and, you know.
Good, let me tell you. Let me now analyze what happened in Osun State.
Osun State.
Osun State, let me tell you. Osun State enjoyed 4 levels of synergy. 1, he enjoyed power of synergy. He was able to synergize with the traditional institution. Is that not so? he enjoyed power of alliance. Remember, the problem in APC actually lost the election on Osun by themselves because of greed. Adeleke actually made a move to go to APC. He went with his brother Deji and Davido to meet the president. They throw hand of friendship. But what did they do? The president cannot come and law instead. It's only the national leader, their state leader. As of today, the minister of blue economy is the state leader of the place. They rejected his plan. They said they have their own plan. They have their own plan. Remember, about 11 people actually showed interest in APC. They said the 10 of them should step down for one. What did they do? No problem. They, as a person, it's just like me now. If you ask me to step down on any measure, I will step down as Otumba Odubemi. But my supporters, they are not bound to step down. What they did, all the supporters, which they call their structure, actually migrated to Accord. Accord was not a party, it was a personality base. It was a fight between the so-called incumbency in court and what people want, personality. That's what happened. They sold out. Then two, they sold out because there was no emotional connection with people. Pride, arrogance. And I said, pride goes before it falls. What happened in Osun should not repeat in other. Otherwise, APC will suffer defeat, pure and simple. There was no emotional connection. They say the man is dancing. Yes, he's dancing. Well, the outcome of dancing is emotional contact. Is that also? Which emotional contact is APC doing? The party, the governorship as well was like a shigidi.
But do you think that election was free and fair?
Yes, it was free and fair.
Okay.
Because there was no oppression. There was no.
And don't you think that would also happen in 2027 election?
It will happen because that is why we're breaking the eyes of the people to understand the problem. When people realize where they are, when people's eyes of understanding is not covered by idiosyncratic nuances of the people, of gullible politicians who will just run to Abu Dhabi. After they lose election, they run Abu Dhabi. After they lose election, they run around the world. They say they're going there.
Don't you think Nigerians will come out to vote based on what they see, based on what has been happening?
Oh, yes. We have 6 months.
And do you think they would agree with what you've been saying?
Oh, yeah. People are not stupid.
Okay.
Let me tell you, what I'm saying is this. What we are saying, at my ideological base, I'm not supporting APC. I'm not supporting any party. I'm saying based on ideology, when based on not on ground, we are educating, re-educating the people. If people understand what is happening, they'll be able to appreciate what to do. They'll be able to ask questions. They'll be able to ask for complete accountability. They'll be able to ask for their benefit. How many people knows their rights in Nigeria? How many people knows that the money they've given to the governors is for them, is their own? The governors are only acting in proxy.
So what you are saying in essence is the opposition parties do not stand a chance to unseat the ruling party.
I'm not saying they don't have a chance, but I'm telling you they cannot win.
They cannot win.
Yes.
You're very sure.
I'm very sure until the things changes. If what I'm saying, if the process and procedure are following, I'm still monitoring. If what I've suggested today, if there's a change today, I will say they win.
Okay.
Can we continue?
No. We're out of time. One last word.
My last word is that one, national issue will be on economy. It will be on security. It will be on connectivity. It will be on unity. It will be on delivery. All those things, they have to beat what APC is doing. The question is, APC should be careful. They are not emotionally connected.
All right.
There are a lot of people wasting it. All the National Assembly, I've told you, the speaker, they live in a large of largesse, opulence, and we, the citizens, we are suffering. We can't continue to suffer and you say we should wait. We are not waiting. APC should be careful. They should have emotional contact. APC should send their strategy.
Otumba, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for your time. All right, thank you all our viewers. Thank you, Nigerians, for joining our Lagos Network studio this morning on CMI. Thank you once again, Otumba, for coming. And we would be handing over to our Benin studio for the continuation on CMI. I am Marcelina Unko. Just stay with us.
Onwa is rich in culture and traditions. The people are a mixture of traditional worshippers, Muslims and Christians. Onwa is located at the northern part of Edo State. It consists of 2 local government areas, that is Onwa West and Onwa East. It has a total number of 13 clans and 21 political wards, according to National Population Commission 2006 census. The population of Onwa people is put together at 251,686. The people love tradition and culture. Historically, the people ancestors in deep quest to hand down on their future children a society of love and friendship.
ITV, certainly the best.
In a rare display of botanical brilliance, the palm tree defied natural norms, sprouting multiple branches that bear fruits. This rare occurrence has become a wonder to many, as experts are calling it a one-in-a-million phenomenon. Could this multiple...
Good morning and welcome to the news update for this time. The Federal Ministry of Works has held a stakeholders meeting with a concessionaire handling Benin-Asaba Expressway following the worsening condition of the road and prolonged gridlock that has left motorists and commuters stranded for days. The meeting, led by the Minister of Works, Engineer David Umahi, followed an on-the-spot assessment of the troubled highway and growing public outcry over the deplorable state of the road. Oluwafemi Falayola reports.
The Minister of Works, Engineer David Umahi, who visited parts of the damaged portions of the road, expressed dissatisfaction with the handling of the project by the Benin-Asaba Expressway Concession Company, accusing the concessionaire of lacking the technical competence required to execute the rehabilitation effectively. The minister particularly faulted the removal of existing asphalt on sections of the highway without completing the necessary rehabilitation works, saying the action contributed to the deterioration of the road and the hardship experienced by the road users.
The destruction you have caused on the road is beyond your capacity. We do not see you having the capacity to reinstate the road. Pleading with you before the public and before the governor to allow Ministry of Works to bring in competent contractors.
Representative of the concessionaire, however, attributed some of the challenges to persistent rainfall and the heavy volume of traffic on the highway. The project consultant's representative, Engineer Toyin Akinlapa, alleged that professional advice to prioritize drainage construction was not followed, contributing to some of the problems on the highway.
Some of the site instructions that we also gave to them were not adhered to, most especially concerning the drainage of the road.
The Edo State Governor, Senator Monday Okpebholo, appealed to the Minister of Works to intervene in the Benin-Asaba roads. He called for calm and assured motorists of government intervention.
Looking at the project at hand, looking at the road itself, after 16 months, these people are not serious about completing this job. So, Minister, I advise that do the needful. Though people are watching, Nigerians are watching.
The minister ordered a review of concession agreements on major roads to restore the affected sections of the Benin-Asaba corridor to a motorable condition. Present at the meeting were Governor Monday Okpebholo, Minister David Umahi, Deputy Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly, Honorable Atu Osanwanyi, officials of the Federal Ministry of Works, project consultants, PPP representatives, among others. Oluwafemi Falayola, ITV News.
Ahead of the 92nd birthday celebration of the Esama of Benin, beautification of number 1 to 13 Okada Avenue, residents of the Patriarch and Honorary Council to Edo and Delta States of Nigeria, His Excellency Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawa Igbeneghu has reached its peak. Pius Nsogo reports that workers are putting finishing touches on the decorations and maintenance of the entire premises.
Pictures of the celebrant and Esama of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawa Igbeneghu, adorn the premises, while workers on the ground are putting frantic efforts to ensure timely completion. Vehicles and passers-by accessing Okada Avenue and Sir Gabriel Igbeneghu Way in GRA Benin City will have no difficulty in understanding that a great event is about to take place yet again in Benin City. Meanwhile, the magnificent residence of the Esama of Benin is resplendent by night, following an enchanted lighting display across the entire Garden of Eden residence. From pillars to palms and flowers, the residence of the Esama displays luminous elegance. Passing through streets adjoining the Petrarch's residence, one will mistake it for a street in Disney Town. The opulent lighting display transforms the premises into a luminous wonderland. Some workers comment on what to expect at the end of their beautification work.
At the end of the day, I know this decoration will speak elegance and all, so I'm glad to be part of this team.
The copper will look good, look nice, the grass will fresh.
For decades, the Esama of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawa Igbeneghu, has been consistent in making his birthday celebration a global event. This year's ceremony, as you can see, is going to be even greater. From the Esama's residence in Benin City, Pius Nsogo, ITV News.
As Edo State marks its 35th anniversary on August 27, residents are reflecting on the state's journey, achievements and challenges, with education emerging as one of the key areas requiring sustained attention. Patience Osaogiwa sampled residents' view on the state of education as Edo State commemorates its 35th anniversary.
Created on August 27, 1991, Edo State was carved out of the former Bende State, which it shared with present-day Delta State. 35 years on, residents say the state has recorded significant progress, particularly in expanding access to tertiary education and strengthening educational institutions. Former Labour leader Reverend Olu Adeligbigbe and politician Barrister Gentleman Amego commended successive administrations for their contributions to the growth of the education sector. They, however, stressed the need for greater investment to improve educational standards, infrastructure, and learning outcomes.
We have been lucky so far. To climax it all is Obaseki, who really promoted education to date. And thank God, the Cuban governor, I think, is also trying to do his best.
We have done so very well. There are so many universities now in Edo State, which hitherto we didn't have. To that extent, we say we have done well.
For the Deputy Chief of Staff to Edo State Governor, Honorable Pius Alile, Edo's 35-year journey is also a story of peaceful coexistence among its people across the 3 senatorial districts. Alile identified technical, vocational, science and technology education as areas requiring greater attention to prepare young people for the demands of the 21st century economy.
What we are seeing now is a different era completely. But our educational system have not been able to match to the speed of the society. And that is a general thing, not specific to Edo.
As Edo clocks 35, residents say the state has come a long way, but its next chapter must focus on consolidating its educational gains while placing greater emphasis on skills development, innovation, and opportunities for its growing population, especially the youths. From Benin, Patience Usaugiwa, ITV News.
Barely 3 weeks after ITV and radio reported a constant public outcry over the growing criminal activities of scavengers in Benin City, Edo State Scrap Monitoring and Regulatory Team has commenced a clampdown on illegal scavengers not profiled by the Edo State government. Donald Emiye reports.
Activities of some scavengers in Benin Metropolis, no doubt, have brought untold hardship and pains to many residents in recent times. Against the growing public outcry and constant media reportage, government has swiftly responded by profiling scavengers, giving identity cards, authorized reflective jackets, and stickers as a means of identifying genuine scavengers from illegal operators in the state by seizing cars of illegal scrap operators. Some Benin City residents commended the recent clampdown and seizure of cars of illegal scavengers still moving around the streets and major roads in Benin City.
Also, government do this. I believe Benin for don't go because those are booking and they want to turn our state on that place.
Buy material for grand before you go ask come buy. Don't leave your material.
I want to thank Monday Okpewolo for what he's doing right now for pulling these scavengers from the street.
The residents urge members of the state scrap monitoring and regulatory team to sustain the exercise, insisting that proper monitoring would help separate genuine scavengers from those allegedly using the trade as a cover for stealing public and private property. Coordinator, Edo State Scrap Monitoring and Regulatory Team, Mr. Ikyoya Omowele, reacts to the development.
All these truck way they here, we collect them from illegal scrap scavengers, and these people refuse to submit themselves to the profiling where they go on for the state. And there are some where we say they are authorized to scavenge for their oga way get dump. What we don't see profile their dump, what would they call the dump owners, authorized dump owners, and some authorized dump owner no see any of their boys credible to submit for this profiling to scavenge for them. That is why we carry our car command side today. Go they arrest those who be say they no register, they are not authorized to scavenge in our society.
It is expected that with this development, illegal activities of scavengers will be contained. From Benin, Donald Ehiminyen, ITV News.
For this time, thanks a lot for watching. Good morning.
ITV.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity
to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
The Ugewe is the final ceremony of the series of festivals. It is one of peace and lightheartedness, following the more solemn of the ritual year. Ugewe is the festival of the Ewe leaves, a symbol of good luck and joy. It is the most popular of all that heralds the dawn of a Benin New Year, new vow, newness of life and freshness of life, and a new hope for the future. In the evening, the Ewe leaves are presented to the Oba of Benin in grand style in a colorful ceremony. The Ihogbe Society, amidst singing and dancing, bring the sacred leaves that symbolize good luck, blessings, peace, and prosperity. Each of the senior members of the Ihogbe proceeds to give the sacred leaves directly to the Oba of Benin, and others put theirs at his feet.
Wednesday morning on TMI Socials, where we talk about trending stories on social media and, of course, to hear people's reaction about each stories. I am Marcelina Nkwo, and today the first story we'll be talking about is a trending video of Peter Obi where he defended 13 months doctor's strike state where he was a governor, and he said the strike wasn't bad because there were no mass deaths in Anambra. Were dying in hospitals one after the other, and there was no mass death. Must strike, and a lot of talking on this particular video. Would you be, 13 more strike when you were a state saying that there were no mass death? Take a look at the video before the reactions.
Effective. There was no mass death. That means something is missing. Because after that, people who dead would have still alive.
Let's take a look at people's reaction. This user says, seems to be no death. Peter Obi can't sink in by the longest doctor's strike over recorded in history to Fiakwa. Okay, there's another protection says to him, absence of death is evidence of how many states have good death record. This that was this says on X, this other user, wait, he should not defend it at all, but he later faked it, and the remaining 7 he did astonishing work. Please, what precedent that we the citizens, and please don't talk about roads here. Okay, let's take a look at another reaction. Were very effective. In 13 months, they mass death. That means something is missing, because after 13 months, we are still lobby. May God save us from such a man. Okay, that is for that story. Also, St. Peter Obi, we saw a of his where he sat on the eating with some, children, and so that is this political strategy. Why would it do advise him to do this? Different in this video. Take a look at the video first before we go to the reactions. Interesting. Trust Nigerians, they would always have one or two things to say. Let's take a look at this reaction. This person says, it is an arranged show for media stunts. I think it is not as ridiculous as we think. Peter Obi is trying his best anyway, but the game is more of top politics, not grassroots politics. It should play as well. Okay, this other user says, Nigerians are good at this kind of deception whenever election is approaching. They suddenly identify with the common man eating corn on the streets. Is not the only one. Many did it before, and more are still doing the same. Citizens are wiser. Okay, that is for that. That's all the user says. I used to be angry when I sight him doing church, and that was because I thought he was pretending until I learned that he had a way for ages that I understood him. It is his way of life, so be it. Obasanjo also ate akara during his tenure, as well as Jonathan. Interesting. Okay, this other user, Ayo, says, I wouldn't necessarily jump to conclusion that he screams desperations, as their grounds also that shows humanity. The only thing I would to have advised him would have been to have the food for the kids after, so definitely don't contest for the meat with them. Interesting. Okay, this says no strategy and winning plans to become president, still playing baby's politics. The people be using to judge policy. That is for that story. Our next story is radio of social media saying we are not competing with thieves. They stole the elections. Now they have stolen the economy. They have stolen everything. ADC, presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar. And a lot of Nigerians have different things to say about this particular video. Take a look at the video.
To repeat categorically that what I said, I will return subsidy, I will. And I shall. Nigeria is rich enough to look after the welfare of Therefore, let it be clearly stated, he was not speaking on my own notes, because the removal of subsidy has driven more Nigerian poverty than at any other time in the history of this country. And the fundamental responsibility of the government is the welfare of the citizens. Two, I will make sure we secure this country. Beaten with thieves, they stole the election. Now they have stolen the economy. They have stolen.
Interesting. Let's take a look at what people has to say concerning this particular video. This user said contest is one thing, but the state of the economy is another. Regardless of who is responsible, what Nigerians need now is accountability, transparency, and policies that actualize lives of citizens. Okay, let's take a look at another reaction. If Atiku wants to talk about thieves, Nigerians also remember his time as vice president, from the privatization controversies to the sparse sector failures and the billions spent with little to show for it. His administration wasn't exactly a clean slate, pot calling kettle black. This is be what the party he served as VP did during his time in office. Okay, that is a question for him to answer. This other person, Damilola on X, says, so because a custom officer, you assume we should believe this claim without evidence. Interesting. That is for that. And our last story, also a trending video of Very Dakma, where he said there's no government project that is better than what we are currently building here. We have spent 290 million naira, well documented from Bonus Boy donation. Very Dakma shows the current stage of the school project is built. Also said when he's coming to contest for election that people should support him. I mean, because of all this. And a lot of persons have been saying, is he actually doing all this because he's planning to contest for election in the future? Take a look at the video before we go to reactions.
Very soon, the latter political party is coming, so we're going to get ready to vote for us in the nearest future, right? Now, as you can see, this is the project in Auda. I want to show you the update of this project. This is why you must vote us. There's no government project that is better than what we have done here.
Interesting. Let's take a look at the reactions. This person said, meanwhile, building projects are not the problem. It's the maintenance culture. Hope their securities to secure the school properties from being stolen. Meanwhile, there are many FGC that were built well, but due to lack of maintenance, they're nothing to write about now. Okay, there's other user in the comment section says, when the political class has embezzled the commonwealth of the people to this point, persons who does a quarter is getting praise. Okay, pathetic. I know a 100 million naira building when I see one. That building is not worth 190 million, but we are not ready for that discussion right now. Okay, let's take a look at another reaction. Irrespective of the good work you are doing, please don't come and be telling me this building I'm saying here is worth 190 million naira. Jokes or worth. Interesting. Okay, yes, I see you did a nice job here, but say no government school better than these in Nigeria. I would say there are government schools which have more standard than this in Warri. All right, that is for that on TMI Socials. This morning, we'll be moving back to our Benin studio where Wilson is on standby. Wilson, if you can hear me, Take it up from here.
I can hear you loud and clear, Marcelina, talking about Peter Gregory be sitting and eating with those kids. His emotions betrayed the intent. That's what I saw. He looked as if he's not happy. I kept on wondering what is going on in his mind, but all this thing is all about politics. A very dark man, 190 million naira building. Anyway, maybe we should go and investigate that building to find out if truly it cost that amount. Well, Mercy, I believe that Lagos is done and dusted for today. Even Benin also done and dusted. Thank you so much for being a part of it. For all those celebrating 35 years of state creation, I want to say happy birthday to you. Bye for now.